Battalion 1.
We just had a plane crash into Alpha 4 of the World Trade Center, transmit a second alarm, and start relocating companies into the area.
10-4, Battalion 1.
Battalion 1 is also sending the whole consignment on this box to that area, okay? Engine 6 to Manhattan,
Engine 6.
The World Trade Center, tower number 1 is on fire. The whole outside of the building, there was just a huge explosion.
10-4, all companies stand by at this time.
There's been a second alarm on that box immediately.
10-4.
Engine 1 on to Manhattan.
Engine 1-0.
Engine 1 out, World Trade Center, 1060. Send every available ambulance, everything you got to the World Trade Center now.
10-4, 1060 has been transmitted for the World Trade Center. 1060 for the World Trade Center.
3 truck to Manhattan.
3 trucks.
Civilian reports from up here, a plane just crashed into the World Trade Center for your information.
This white flag in my hand,
Battalion 1 to
trying
Manhattan.
to open up my arms again. Won't you
Transmit a third alarm.
always living on the run and sitting by us, darling, won't you die? You know no one's winning. Can we give it up and give it up?
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Thursday, September 11th, 2025. I'm Deanna, and today's top story highlights the upcoming college fair at the Landers Center. This college fair is a great opportunity for students to chat with a bunch of colleges and see what they have to offer in one spot during school hours. This year's fair will be for seniors and will also feature workforce training and direct employment opportunities.
Seniors, we have an incredible opportunity. We are going to have a big, massive college fair at the Landers Center set up for you guys coming up in September. And Horn Lake's date is actually going to be September the 16th. We've also got other schools who will be going on the 15th. Is that correct?
17th.
17th. So 16th and 17th. So Horn Lake is the 16th. Some of the other schools, if you're watching, you may have a different time slot. You'll need to ask your counselors what your time slot is. Tell the students what a college fair is and why it's so incredible.
So the purpose of our college and career fairs, we wanted to provide a district-wide opportunity for all of our seniors to be able to visit and learn more about the different colleges that were in our areas. In addition, we wanted to expand that to local business partners who were actively hiring or possibly offering an apprenticeship or an internship opportunity, or that may provide tuition assistance for their employees as well. So it's a great opportunity for all of our seniors to be able to see what is offered within our area to be able to make some informed decisions about their future choices.
Incredible. Much like going to a restaurant, Keegan, you don't necessarily know what you want to eat until you see a menu, and this is a massive menu of colleges and career opportunities, and you may find something that you didn't even know you were interested in by going to the fair. Can you tell us some of the colleges that you know for sure are going to be there already?
So we will have a wide representation from our colleges in Mississippi. Of course, Northwest will be there. They will highlight their regular academic programs as well as their CTE offerings that they have. We will have Mississippi State, Southern Miss. We hope to have the W and also Ole Miss. University of Memphis will be there as well. So that's just some of the ones from around our area that we know have signed up and registered to attend.
Right. And there's always a bunch of smaller colleges that you've never probably heard of that may be a really good fit for some of you, because those smaller colleges offer much smaller class sizes and a smaller community for you to go to college with. And for some students, that is definitely going to appeal to you. So you're not gonna want to miss the college fair. Make sure that you sign up and sign those permission slips. If you were at another school, make sure that you sign the permission slips and turn those in so that you can also be a part of the college fair. It is an amazing opportunity with tons of different options located right there in one room, giving you a single day to go around and talk to all of these different organizations and colleges. So we want to make sure that you're a part of the college fair.
It's also an opportunity for parents to be able to attend as well during their students' time slot with their school. So if they have questions for college admission or just want to see what the different opportunities are available, parents are welcome to attend as well.
Okay, and there is some construction going on at Landers, so do we know where we're going to be parking and all of that? Is it just going to be the main parking lot?
It is. It's the main parking lot, and we will enter in at the ticket booth area.
Okay, we'll see you guys there in September.
Don't forget, seniors, the permission slips are due this Friday. The volleyball team has a home game here tonight at 5 p.m. against West Memphis Christian. Come support your Lady Eagles.
Good morning, Horn Lake. This is Coach Dalt. We have a game tonight at home. 5 and 6 o'clock, we play West Memphis Christian. We've already played them, and it was a super competitive game, so we're really hoping to pull out the win tonight. We could use everyone to come out and cheer us on.
24 years ago, our nation was shaken up by a tragic event that changed the course of history. The September 11th attacks brought darkness and chaos, but also demonstrated the resilience and strength of the American spirit. This story explores the impact of that day, the heroes who emerged, and how we can continue to remember and learn from this pivotal moment in our history.
What led up to the 9/11 attacks?
So, in the late 70s, early 80s, after Iran fell and Ayatollah Khomeini took over Iran, you had this rise of terrorist groups, right? Terrorist groups, the PLO, all these different groups. And they started attacking American places, mainly because we supported Israel, because Jimmy Carter helped broker a peace deal between Israel and Egypt, but also mainly because of the U.S. need for oil in that part of the world. And there was sort of this rise of anti-American establishment, okay? In the 1980s, we support a group of freedom fighters, in Afghanistan. We give them weapons, money to help defeat the Soviet Union. So, and that became the Soviet Union's version of Vietnam. But anyway, when the Soviet Union left Afghanistan, there's a power vacuum. That power vacuum is filled by a guy by the name of Osama bin Laden. That gives birth to the Taliban. And we sort of were in this tenuous relationship with, this growing terrorism, international terrorism. And then in the early to mid 90s, he started attacking American places. He started attacking the embassy in Kenya. He attacked the USS Cole in the late 90s. And we knew something was coming. But we didn't know where it was coming. You had a rivalry of sorts between the CIA and the FBI. The CIA grows out of World War II, but they don't really, there's nothing in the rule book that says that they got to talk to each other. So this is growing sort of like, you don't need to know what I know, and you don't need to know what I know. And we started getting hints around early 2000. There's a lot of guys over here taking flying lessons. There's a lot of guys over here who's been on, these things, and it slipped and it started slipping through the cracks. And we knew it was coming. We just didn't know where. And so 9/11 was planned. It was a 20-year plan. He planned it for 20 years, bin Laden did. Ever since he helped, got rid of the Soviets in Afghanistan.
How did 9/11 change our country?
Oh, man. Okay, well, you know how when you watch news today, how the bottom, this is a small thing, but you know how across the bottom of the news stations, that started because of 9/11. There was so much information coming out that we had to put across the bottom of the screen what was going on. Before 9/11, you could walk with your family to the gate at the Memphis International Airport. Now, those days are gone. Just small things like that. But I can remember it was several days before an airplane flew again. It was several days before anybody felt safe. A lot of TV stations, and TV stations that you don't think would be impacted. Comedy Central, MTV. I can remember the Food Network not airing anything for 3 days. College football did not play that weekend. Neither did the NFL. And that had not happened since JFK was assassinated in '63 in Dallas. And so it's just small things like that we take for granted that was impacted by 9/11. Homeland Security, they made it harder to get a driver's license. They made it harder to get on an airplane. They used box cutters that day, something smaller. And so even the smallest thing when you went to fly was taken away from you. Your shampoo, you couldn't have liquid, because then the next thing was, guy had liquid in his shoe, right? He was gonna light his shoe on fire. Do you remember that? So then they changed that. And so the analogy that I give my students is, they hit us with a direction of, okay, it used to be hostages, or we're gonna hold these planes hostage. Now it's, let's take some airplanes and turn them into a bomb. So they took 3 flights that had a lot of gas in them, flying from the East Coast to West Coast. And they just, there you go.
Why do terrorists hate the U.S.?
Ever since the 1950s, there was a guy who was a very well-liked leader in Iran, okay? And the CIA, a lot of great things they did, right? And for all you freshmen, that was my sarcasm, if you haven't had me yet. They remove him because he will not give us access to oil. And we put a guy in there that will give us access to oil, but mistreated his people. He's having his lunches flown in from France every day. His wife is bathing in goat's milk. People are starving in the streets. So we have this rise of anti-Western, not America, anti-Western, right? The leaders over there don't wear shirt. They wear a dress shirt, no tie, right? They hate Americans. They hate Westerners. That's going up. 1, 2, like I said earlier, Carter negotiated a peace treaty with Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin. 3, America, through one of our great presidents, Harry Truman, believed in Israel's right to exist. That goes back, right? The 72 Olympics in Munich, when the Israeli team was taken hostage. A lot of that was tied into that. And so it went like all of a sudden, okay, there's a, anti-American sentiment, anti-Western sentiment. This had been building for 50, 60, 70 years. And the Taliban they hated America. When we went to Iraq the first time against Saddam Hussein, we had troops in Saudi Arabia. We used Saudi Arabia as a launching pad for those attacks. Well, they didn't like that. And so that's kind of what happened with all that. So it's just a whole list of things that slowly started. But we were on the right track with trying to get to bin Laden. We just didn't know when and where. And then by the time that we knew, it was really too late. And then after the election after the attacks, is when the government had hearings and they forced the CIA and the FBI to work together. And they were separate entities who are now forced to work together. And now you see terrorist attacks being thwarted a long time before they happen now.
This week's feature vocabulary words are coherent, compassion, and compensate. Coherent, logical and consistent. Compassion, concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. Compensate, make up for something unwelcome or unpleasant by exerting an opposite force or effect.
The ASVAB test is coming up Wednesday, September 19th at 8:30 in the morning. Sign-up deadline is the 26th.
Good morning, students. This is Miss Jolly, and I wanted to tell the girls who were elected to the homecoming court that you will have a meeting in Miss Johnson's room on Friday morning during break. That is room D13. So please make your way there, and congratulations.
The football team will be playing an away game at Olive Branch this Friday. We'd love to see our big crowd in the stands. That's it for today's episode. Here at Horn Lake, we are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.
I'm standing with this white flag in my hand, trying to open up my arms again. Aren't you tired of always living on the run and setting fires? Darling, aren't you tired? You know no one's winning. Can we give it up and give it up? Clinging tight to our God just like they could save us. When these walls we feel so high, oh why we keep falling for ages, always trying to reach for something, but all we ever find is nothing. Over and over and over again, isn't it time we forgive and forget? I'm standing with this white flag